And we're live with another episode of BS Busters. And I'm joined by the usual suspects of Kenoshi Abominito and Jewel Eli Runestar, but I'll let them introduce themselves. So go ahead, introduce yourselves, starting with the ladies first.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, to the BS Busters and Lily podcast. I am Julia Ilya Moonstar, and I knew Epic would get their orbs kicked for their stunt. And oh boy, I'm enjoying the show.
All right. Kenoshi?
It's Kenoshi Abominito here to say that you can't give special treatment to one person and not expecting everybody else to get mad.
But you can. You can
You
though.
can.
You can, yeah. In
Yeah.
business, you
Yeah.
can. And
Mhm.
now, if it's a public, if you're talking about like a public utility, like you can't pick and choose who can use a public library unless it's someone who has violated the public covenant. But as long as you are a member of the public, you can go into a public library. Doesn't matter. Now, if it's a private library, the people who own that library can choose who can come inside there and who can't. You get what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying,
Of course.
Like,
people are gonna retaliate.
Epic complaining about Apple playing favorites with whom can use their platform is like someone is like when because they're dudes who think like this is like when a dude sees a girl dating another dude and he's like, well, she's dating him, and in their head they're like, well, she's probably having sex with him. Well, if she's having sex with her boyfriend, then why won't she give any to me? It's like, yeah, but her relationship with that person that
Really?
she's going with is very different from the relationship she has with you. And how dare you make the
Yeah.
assumption that because she's going with that guy, that means she's going to give it up to anybody. And some dudes think like that. They legit do. I went to high school with people like that. Like a girl would be dating a guy, and they would sit there and spend their time obsessing about that girl going with that guy, and then get mad because she would only go with that guy. Or maybe she would be very social butterfly and go with a lot of guys, but just not that one guy, you know, that was pining and angry about the shit. And I'm like, dude, you need to
Weird is that?
you need to calm the fuck down, bro. Calm down,
Yeah.
chill the fuck out, and stop acting like a little bitch. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Um, but I mean, here's the thing. I don't care either way because I don't like Apple or Epic. Um, like neither company is gonna get my company of the year thing. I think Apple uh, charges ridiculously large amounts of money for their products that aren't really that good. Like if you have a like people the argument that Apple PCs are somehow more productive than the
Sorry.
argument that Apple PCs are somehow more productive than say like a dedicated PC that's just basically got like productivity software on it. I mean, yeah, Apple PCs can be more productive than a conventional PC because Apple PCs pretty much because of the software suite that comes with that PC. But I mean, if you have a PC that's built for making movies and rendering video, and you basically built that thing from the ground up to render video, and you spent $3,000 to do that, versus spending $3,000 on an Apple whatever the fuck laptop or desktop to do that. I think that conventionally you would get the same level of performance It's just with Apple, you also buy into their fucking expensive ass ecosystem. We have to buy their cables, and you have to buy their hard drives, you have to buy their peripherals. I mean, it's a I mean, basically, Apple is like Nintendo in that you have to buy all their shit in order to get the best performance. Except Nintendo shit it doesn't. I mean, you're getting ripped off, but it's not to the same level of, well, bend over and take me. It's kind of. I mean, it's kind of fucked up, really. But Apple basically. I mean, Apple and Epic are having this little tete-a-tete against each other, and with consumers in the middle. You know, which is, I mean, that's kind of like the dick move behind all of this is that, I mean, companies have.
They're bringing their customers into the battle.
Yeah, that's the thing that pisses me off is that they're bringing the customers into this shit. You know, it's like your parents having an argument shouldn't. It's why you shouldn't argue in front of your kids because basically what happens is that the kids start taking sides and it fucks them up. And you know, consumers shouldn't their customers shouldn't have to choose a side. Like they shouldn't be affected by this shit. So what do you guys think about it before we move on to the next news story?
If anything, this Apple was getting a lot more greedy than I would think about it. But then again, they recently been kicking Epic already, so if anything, I'm not totally surprised by all this.
All right, Kenoshi?
Just having a feeling it's a headache.
Well, I just honestly think that, I mean, Epic was making hand over fist with Fortnite anyway, but they wanted to be part of the
Big Boys Club.
They wanted to be part of the Big Boys Club, and Apple didn't want them in, so.
Well,
they retaliated.
Let me place a counter argument to them making a lot of money off of Fortnite. Fortnite, the amount of people playing Fortnite has actually either has been going slightly down, and when the numbers do go up, it's because Epic basically pays for some type of licensing deal with a company like Disney or Marvel or some type of big
I was about
name.
to say it's Marvel this time around.
So they basically have money, like they're taking money to basically bump up their numbers. I mean, which isn't surprising because who used to do the same thing? Who used to own Epic and do the same fucking thing in order to get people to use their product?
Microsoft.
Ding! So, I mean, as you can see...
Why am I not surprised?
As you can see, it's not surprising that Epic is doing this because, I mean, they learned how to do this from Microsoft. And here's the crossover. Like, Fortnite, just like everything else, there's very few things that can stay uber popular for years and years and years and years. I think Counter-Strike is a rarity. Team Fortress 2 is a rarity. And eventually Fortnite will, will be relegated to an ancient memory, and something new is going to come along and take its place. And it probably won't come from Epic.
When will it? Can it happen any sooner, please?
Yeah, I wish it would happen sooner.
Fortnite.
I wish it would happen sooner. I'm personally tired of Fortnite myself. And I've never even played Fortnite, but I'm just tired of hearing about it. It's like, man, did you play Fortnite?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
I never even installed Fortnite, so if anything, I'm tired of hearing it.
No, I didn't. No, I've never played Fortnite. I don't know anything about it. I haven't watched it.
I know how it plays. I watch how it plays, and it kind of just annoys me to no end because I see way too much chaos in that kind of environment.
I mean, Fortnite is basically PUBG with base building elements. That's all it is. It's like a more polished, nicer looking PUBG.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I have nothing against battle royale games because let's keep it real. If you're a Nintendo fan, you were playing Splatoon and Splatoon 2, and those are basically battle royale games. On a smaller scale,
Oh no,
it's not.
it's a team battle game,
No, it's
not a battle royale.
it's a team-based battle royale game. I mean, the same thing. I mean, because there's team-based modes in Fortnite and PUBG and shit like that too. The only difference is
I
that
was about to
you're
say
not dealing
that
with, you know.
that can you actually battle alone or have your own individual score?
I think it depends on the modes, but I mean they're both all three of these are
There's no mode that allows that.
all of these games are battle royale games. The difference is that there's like different slants and the scope. Like, you know, if you're dealing with what's it called? If you're dealing with Splatoon, it's a team-based battle royale game. If you're dealing with, you know, Fortnite, I think if I remember correctly,
Team-based battle royale, it's a versus, not as in it's only two teams.
yeah,
How
that's
can
what
it
I'm
be a
saying.
battle royale if
It's
it's only two?
it's team based, but you're still fighting it out against each other. However,
It's a
Splatoon is unique in
versus,
that
not a team, not a battle royale. So if anything, it kind of
Splatoon
fights.
Splatoon is a bit different in that, you know, you can take out enemies as much as you want to. There's more going on underneath the hood than you have a Fortnite or a PUBG. But I mean, a lot of the core aspects are there, between that are shared between all of them. So I mean, you know, like, I mean, I don't care either way. Um, but I'm just
This is
saying,
from somebody that actually knows how to play it.
all these games, you know, well, I mean, like I said, Splatoon shares a lot of the same DNA as the other battle royale titles. The
Mm-mm.
difference between Splatoon and the other ones is that Splatoon has a lot more hidden depth to it. Like, you can, like, if you play a game of Splatoon and all you're doing is just splatting people and not actually laying down territory, like laying down paint for your territory, you're gonna lose because the primary mode in Splatoon is turf battle, and turf battle, like, whether your team wins or loses, is all about how much ink you laid down. So yeah, splatting someone takes them out of the game for between 3 to 7 seconds, depending on how quickly they can spawn and get back to where they were. But so, you know, splatting has a usage, but most of the time you're just laying down however much ink you can on the ground. That's a pretty good game mechanic. You know, Fortnite and PUBG were about basically you spawn into the map and then parts of the map fall off, and then you try to take out other people. And I think there's a team-based mode in Fortnite. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm pretty sure PUBG was like 64 people and only one person could be left, which is a completely different thing. Let me see. Fortnite team based. Yeah.
As somebody that knows how to play one of those games, I actually know
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about a lot more than what you're aiming at. With since it doesn't feel like it's a battle royale with Splatoon.
Fortnite Fortnite does have a team based mode that's pretty fucking competitive, but most people who play it are playing it in the you know, last two
Solo
people.
queue.
Well, last two people left. Like, in like they have like 2-man teams and like like a whole bunch of people. But anyway, uh like, the genre is, I mean, you basically have these types of genres on all platforms, and which was my point. And like, to lesser or greater extent, you can play these types of games on a lot of different platforms, and they all have their own thing going on, which is, I mean, if you like that type of thing, I personally don't really care either way because, like I said, my favorite Splatoon is the first one. The second one, even though on paper it should have been much better than the first one, just there was something missing, mostly because the controls were kind of not as good as the first game to me, and just like how they nerfed some of the weapons just didn't feel right. But that's just me. But
I get what
anyway,
you're saying, at least.
Apple is playing this game where they're picking people to give special access to, but they're a company. They are not a they're a publicly traded company, but they're a corporation. And corporations don't have to play by the same rules as a publicly owned entity, like a public utility, a government or state run utility. They don't have to play by those rules, unfortunately. So, you know,
Of course.
the people who are making the argument that they should, it's like, first of all, why are you going to bat for a company that's worth 287 billion dollars?
I don't know, maybe so. I mean, some of these people that I've heard batting for Epic are people who actually sell stuff on the App Store themselves. And,
No, I mean,
so
no,
it's hard for them
I mean the people who are going to bat for Apple. People who are going to bat for Epic. Yeah, they're like, yeah, Epic is still worth like $17 billion. Why are you? Look, listen. Comparatively speaking, 17 billion to 287 billion. Yeah, it's a David versus Goliath thing. Well, actually, it's not even David versus Goliath. It's a grown man versus a small child. But despite that being said, like, $17 billion is still more than the average person is ever going to have in their lifetime. So why the fuck are you trying to have this argument about, who's better? It's like, it doesn't fucking matter.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's my opinion. I know everyone has their own thing. So with that being said, anything else you guys want to say before we move on to the next topic?
I just wish these two companies would kill each other already.
Well, I mean, considering how much money and how vindictive Apple is, how much money Apple has and how vindictive they are, I would say it would be more likely that Apple will curb stomp Epic than Epic curb stomping Apple. And I know what some people would say. Well, they won against Steam. Look, Steam doesn't give a fuck because they're still going to get their money. Either way they cut it, they're going to get their money. Okay? Either way you cut it. Like, most companies are very happy to release their shit on Steam. They don't care. As long as Steam gets their cut, they're happy. Apple is a completely different beast. Okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
And, don't be surprised that they do some shady shit, because that's what Apple does. This is the same company that fought tooth and nail in the Irish Parliament to not have their tax code overhauled in Ireland. And when it was, they moved all their money that they were hiding in Ireland back to the U.S. because they didn't want to pay I think capital gains here in America is like 15%, and I think in Ireland at the time it was like 9%. They didn't want to pay 6% more in taxes on their profits. And they were doing some shady shit to not even pay that 9% in Ireland. Like, that's the shit that Apple will do to not pay their fair share. So don't act surprised that they would do some shit like that. That's all I'm saying. Don't act like, oh man, I can't believe they did that. Like Epic is like a dude, is like a woman going with a dude who everyone knows he fucks around on the person he's with. And then they're like going with the dude, well, it'll be different with me. It's not going to be different with you. You gonna fuck around on you too. Don't act surprised. I can't believe he did that. Oh, really? Now it's a surprise. Okay. So, yeah. Let's keep it moving. Our next topic. EA EA.
Oh God, effing A.
So,
Why am I not surprised that they showed up on this list?
so a few weeks ago, I mean, a month ago, EA released UFC 4, Ultimate Fighting Championship 4, and the game got okay reviews, pretty
They
good
did
reviews.
commercials.
But then, after the game was reviewed, after the review period ended and people bought it, they then added in-game ads between fights where like Amazon and shit, Amazon shit would show up and other shit would show up. Now the problem with this is that you paid, like, for people who bought this game day one, you paid $60 for this fucking game, and they're adding more shit to it so that EA can make more money off of it. Without you, not the DLC, not the fucking shitty microtransactions, commercials in the game.
Commercials in the game. This is probably going to be a spoiler, but that's a low. Even I think other companies haven't went to yet.
Well,
wait,
mean, I don't know
Capcom.
I don't know why people are surprised because have people forgot Burnout Paradise did the same thing where if you're playing the game, like there would be commercial billboards and they would change like every month or so, depending on
but
shit
if
like
anything,
that.
I thought at least I thought the backlash would have gotten into their heads that they shouldn't do it for some time, at least for 2 years.
Yeah, you would think, but this is EA, so you know. What does EA care? EA will do whatever the hell they want, and damn the consequences.
They already got sports problems. Why make another one?
EA will do whatever they want, and damn the consequences. That's the story of EA. Your thoughts on this, Kenoshi?
It's EA again. The lumbering giant that just won't die.
I'm just waiting for EA to lose its sports license so I could actually see what they could try to do without any official licenses.
That's not going to happen because EA, Andrew Wilson, the CEO of EA, would sacrifice his firstborn child in order to maintain those licenses. He would sacrifice his firstborn child in order to maintain those licenses because that is a lot of money.
He would sacrifice Luigi.
No, that was
he the guy.
No, that was another dude who said that.
Oh, okay.
But I get what you're saying. It was like, come on, man. I named my firstborn son Luigi. I'm like, man, fuck you. That's so disingenuous.
Yeah, don't even try that.
Yeah. For me, I'm just waiting for them to lose their licenses, or at least the sports ones.
It's not gonna happen.
And if anything, it might happen, but it's gonna be a long wait. I can hear that already.
I guarantee you, hold your breath and wait for it to happen. You'll pass out before the shit'll happen. I guarantee.
I'm not holding my breath, but if anything, I'm just watching it be like a slow train wreck. But if anything, it's gonna be the longest one I've ever seen.
I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. It pisses me off that this shit happened because, you know, I'm a Star Wars fan, and EA has a tight license, a tight hold on the Star Wars license. And it kills me that EA has such a hold on the Star Wars license. And I wish it was open and like anyone could pay to you know, give a pitch to Lucas to Lucas Film, and basically they're like, okay, yay or nay, and either you fund it yourself or they do like a thing where they take, it's a 50-50 split. If they you know, if you put the money in together, and that's the end of it. I mean, I think you would get better games that way than the shit we've been getting, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing that's exclusive, as in it made exclusively for one system, but it's another thing when it's exclusive to one company, and that company is kind of, well, epically asshole. I think
Yeah.
that's what I should call EA from now on.
The Epic Asshole Studios, the Epic Asshole
Yes.
Publisher. Yeah, it makes sense because and I know some people are gonna be like, well, when I play these games, they're so good, and EA has good games. Yeah, there are good
What?
games that were There are good games that were published by EA. Mass Effect, Mass Effect 2, Dragon Age Origins. I never really played the
I'm
Battlefield
sorry, it's
games,
just that
but I
it's
heard that
hard
they're
to
good.
believe.
No, they're good games from people that I don't like. But I
We're
mean,
talking.
like
I'll
here's the
save
thing.
that.
No, go ahead, Kenoshi.
No, I'll save that for a-hole of the week.
Oh, yeah, we're not at that point yet. Save it. I mean, there's a lot of a-holes of the week. We're just covering the a-hole moves of the week. There's one left. There's one more a-hole of the week nomination left. Okay? And to me, I mean, I'm not going to spoil it, but this is pretty bad. Worse than EA. Okay, so Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot apologizes to everyone who was hurt by the workplace abuses. So basically, here's what
the
Yves
John
Guillemot
company
is gonna do. Yves Guillemot.
Don't tell me. He's gonna put some people through retraining.
No, Yves Guillemot. No, it's getting better than that. Yves Guillemot is gonna put his money where his mouth is. The company over the next 5 years is going to put $1 million towards a fund for people of color and certain ethnicities to go to college. Now, here's the thing: it's not $5 a year. It's $1 million. It's not $1 million every year for 5 years. It's $1 million over 5 years.
Oh.
Which is nothing.
$1 million over 5 years.
Which is nothing.
Actually, I can predict that. That's about $200,000 per year.
Yeah, that means that basically.
And that's pocket change.
Well, I mean, okay, if it's a higher end university, that is one person. That's 4 people per year. Because higher end universities, you're looking at between like $30,000 to $50,000 a year. Now lower end schools, under 10,000. But I mean, there's a chance that if you go to a lower end university, your teachers aren't accredited, which means once you graduate, the professors aren't accredited, which means once you graduate, the paper that your diploma is printed on is about as worth about as much as toilet paper. So, it's a calculated risk. Go cheap and have a degree that's worth nothing, or spend a little bit more and have something worth something. But anyway, and he also says that here, let me look it up. Yeah, let me look it up. Yves Guillemot also says, yes, they're going to invest $1 million over the next 5 years in our graduate program. The focus will be creating opportunities for underrepresented groups, including women and people of color. He also apologized for why they're using the raised fist symbol, a symbol of revolution and of the Black Power movement, to represent the villainous revolutionary group Umbra in the mobile game Tom Clancy's Elite Squad. As we explained in August, the game's premise that protests are a front for an evil international conspiracy sounds a lot like a conspiracy theorist attacks on the Black Lives Matter movement. And so he's basically saying these types of oversight cannot happen. We are putting into place safeguards to prevent it in the future. We condemn anyone using our game as a proxy for hate or toxicity. We fully support the BLM movement, and today we are making an additional donation to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. Okay. I could go on and on. I will let you guys read this if you want to yourselves. The link is in the chat. But basically, essentially what this guy did was, he said we're sorry we did some really fucked up shit, and we promise we won't happen again. Well, take nothing, $1 million, over 5 years, which is nothing for a multi-billion-dollar company. That is literally nothing.
I was about to say, I think at best that's a penny.
Oh, I mean, it's not that low, but I mean, okay. Like EA, I mean, Ubisoft is basically the European EA. Okay, they are essentially, and EA is a huge fucking company, huge. Okay, so it would be the equivalent of someone coming up to me and saying, hey, are you going to donate? Like, we need stuff. Could you donate $5,000 to our school sports club? And me acting like that's a big deal. $5,000 for a successful business is nothing. It's literally like at my tier, that is nothing. Okay. Like, it's almost offensive that I would give someone $5,000 when I could do so much more. And that's basically what Ubisoft is doing. Like $1 million over 5 years, that's nothing. And then on top of that, to be like, yeah, we're gonna, it's aimed towards women of color and to women and people of color. And oh yeah, and we use the Black Power raised fist as a symbol for this evil conspiracy. Which, I mean, if you actually look up unbiased, read unbiased coverage of the Black Panthers, initially they really were. It was a movement led by Huey P. Newton, who basically he wanted black people to create their own economic blocks in their own neighborhoods. So they had their own groceries, their own banks, their own everything was owned by black people helping other black people, so that they wouldn't be less beholden to the system at the time, which perpetuated redlining and stuff to keep black people down. And then the FBI came in and basically
flush things down the John.
Well, I mean, they do what they always do to people they don't like. They planted stuff and called them, a hate group and all that shit. And it really, that wasn't what it was about at all. But you have to actually read the real unvarnished truth of it before you just, listen to that shit. But anyway, he's like, we're going to give some money to the NAACP, which is the equivalent of saying, and I hate to say this, we just gave some money to these niggas and maybe they'll shut the fuck up and leave us alone. That's basically what he said. It's unsaid, but that's basically what his actions belie. Fuck Ubisoft as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you guys have any thoughts on Yves Guillemot and his bullshit?
He might as well be fluffing a pillow.
He ought to be fluffing something, but it's not a pillow. Kenosha, you have any thoughts about Yves Guillemot?
Not really. Just seems like a lazy apology, like a lot of these companies usually give.
Yeah. Well, to cleanse our palate of Yves Guillemot and his bullshit, Pocky and Rocky, a game. Well, actually, there was like 2 Pocky and Rockies, and both of them came out for the Super Nintendo, and they're actually pretty good games. I think there was a Game Boy port as well of Pocky and Rocky, but it only had Pocky. And then like Natsume are actually making a new Pocky and Rocky, but it's a sequel to the SNES ones. And looking at the art style, this is like the best SNES sprite game I've ever seen. Except here's the thing: don't let the cute aesthetic fool you. Pocky and Rocky is damn hard. It's one of the hardest games I've ever played.
Is it under the category Bullet Hades?
No, it's a cute 'em up, but a tough as nails cute 'em up.
Okay, it's just that somehow I think that game, for me, kind of rolls into the bullet curtain, and that usually is meaning that you have to be very precise in how well you You shoot and evade.
Not really, because in Pocky and Rocky you can evade. There's this slide move you can do that lets you go under certain projectiles and dodge and increase your movement. But really, the thing about Pocky and Rocky is just the amount of enemies that are coming at you, and how the cutesy aesthetic might fool you into thinking that it is.
Yeah. It's anything but easy.
Yeah, it's not. It's tough. I never owned this game, but I remember renting it.
That's the reason why I put it under Bullet Curtain instead of Shoot 'em Up.
I remember renting this game when I was a little kid, because I was like, "Hey, this game looks awesome," and then I remember renting it multiple times and realizing that this game is fucking a nightmare. It's tough. Like, Pocky and Rocky is one of the hardest games I've ever played. It is.
Even with a friend, you two are going to be nearly breaking your controller trying to defeat some of these bosses.
Yeah, your friend makes it worse. To be honest with you, because
please tell me it's not Battletoads treatment.
No, your friend makes it worse because it's like, the thing is, you have to understand screen management. Like, okay, you get this part, I get this part. You stay on your area, I'll stay in the area, and as long as we can cover. But if you have someone who doesn't know how to play their part of the screen, they're just gonna make it worse. So yeah, Pocky and Rocky is coming back. It's coming back in 2021. So there you go, folks. At least
yeah, that's pretty cool. And also, thank you for killing the fear that I had, because if you can shoot your own partner down.
No.
Oh boy, that would be a mess.
It's not like Battletoads Double Dragon or Double Dragon, because in Double Dragon you could do that too. Beat the shit out of your partner, which sucks. I hate beat 'em ups that do that. Okay, we have some more information. Baldur's Gate 3 will let you decide a streamer's dialogue choices. So, streamers can fuck up your campaign if you're playing this game through Twitch and YouTube. It's like you're trying to be diplomatic or snarky, and they're like, "Kill this guy." Why? No! You son of a bitch!
I'd rather not be a donk.
Yeah, especially
if it's in front of millions of people.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, D&D already has a lot of murder hobos, but this is taking it too far. Because there's always going to be that group of people who want to play an RPG and kill everyone and kill everything and do the worst shit possible. I don't like playing video games like that. Like, when I play a D&D or a choice-based game, I try to be a good guy, typically speaking. Like, I play as a good guy almost all the time. However, there's some games where it's like, it's part of the game where you have to be a dick. Like Vampire the Masquerade, sometimes I'll go through that game and just be evil as fuck. I try not to, because in Vampire the Masquerade, every time you do things that are against
evil,
that are evil, you lose your humanity, which makes it easier for you to lose control and go into a blood rage and just start killing people. So it's like you have to maintain. It's like, I don't want to be too evil, or they'll kill me because I'm a danger to the Masquerade. But aside from that, it's fucked up.
Yeah. And for any D&D references, I mean, for D&D clarity, I play a bounty hunter of sorts for my campaign, and I got to end up with a murder hobo wizard, and I have to be sure that he tries to stay alive while he does his stupidity.
Just trying to kill everybody and everything. Yeah, I hate people like that. I hate
have to
murder
protect. I have to protect his six while he does the stupid.
Whenever I DM a party in any type of RPG, like tabletop RPG, that has someone in there that's a murder hobo, like, I already have a contingency plan in my campaigns where I have someone or something that if they try and murder this person, they will get destroyed. Like, I already am like, okay, nuclear option, time for you to die.
And let me guess, it's not the rocks fall, everyone dies trap.
No. And one game, like this guy, he was playing a spy assassin, and basically his big thing was, you blew my cover, so I have to kill you. And he killed this entire family. We did not. Well, okay. Like, as a DM, I knew that he killed his family, but his other people in his party weren't like that. And they were like, "You killed these people? Why?" He's like, "Well, they might tell on us when we leave, and we can't leave any trace." And he killed the entire family. He killed the husband. He killed the wife. He killed the 3 kids. And I'm like, dude,
What the fudge?
Well, I mean, it is a role-playing game, and people play roles they wouldn't normally play. However...
Yeah, but I was about to say, I bet you the party was saying, what the fudge?
What he didn't know was that the wife was half nymph, and her mother was a hamadryad, a very powerful hamadryad, who essentially sent a green warden, which, this is a homebrew game, so in the world that, in the homebrew game that we have, that I created, the green wards are basically male nymphs, but unlike normal dryads who are tied to a tree, green wardens aren't tied to a tree. They can go anywhere. So imagine a nymph, a male nymph that has access to all of these elemental druidic type abilities, but they aren't tied to the negative thing of having to be near their tree. If you critically wound a green warden, they'll just go find a good, peaceful, loamy place with good soil and plant their bodies in the ground and then just regenerate and then come back and keep on trying to kill you. And so the Hamadryad sent a green warden after him, and basically it left the rest of his party alone, but went after him. And the green warden was built specifically to kill his build, and it was glorious when he got executed. I was like, he's trying to roll all this shit. He's like, I'm using this special ability. It has no effect on the Green Warden. The Green Warden shrugs it off. He just had to die. And he's like, well, why did it happen? And like before the Green Warden beheaded him, he was like, this is for Cluferna's daughter. And he's like, who's Cluferna's daughter? Remember that family you executed? Well, the mother of those children was Cluferna's daughter. And he got his head cut off.
Well, that's the kind of thing you don't get in a lot of video games where you have that sort of situation. It's like, oh, you chose to kill this family, and then you got somebody that can't, that's...
karmic retribution? Well, I mean, you have it in games, but it's like...
Nothing to that extent,
it's watered down, isn't it?
The closest you're going to get to that type of retribution for doing fucked up shit is if you're playing, like, New Vegas. Like, New Vegas, if you are, like, okay, for example, when I play New Vegas, I'm always against Caesar's Legion. I never side with them. So it gets to the point where if I see Legionnaires, like, initially, if I see Legionnaires, before my reputation gets really bad with them, I just start murdering the shit out of them. Like, fuck these guys. But then it gets to a point where they'll start sending hit squads after you over and over and over again. Like, over and over again.
To be honest with you, I thought you would snipe them first.
Well, it depends on your build. Like, me, when I'm playing New Vegas, I don't really use sniping weapons, because the best sniping weapons in New Vegas you don't get until the last third of the game, the anti-material rifle. And it's only good at range, so you can't use it at mid to short range. My preferred build in New Vegas is to use energy weapons, because I'm like, why? I mean, it's the post-apocalyptic future. Why can't I use laser weapons? So I tend to use, laser weapons and shit like that, like plasma rifles and shit like that. And I will murder the shit out of some Caesar's Legion. And they'll come after you. They'll be like, hey, you need to be killed for my Caesar's Legion. I mean, I murder the shit out of them anyway, because fuck them. But that's your, you will become hated by factions, and they'll send people after you, which I think is really good. It's unfortunate that Bethesda didn't learn shit from New Vegas, and instead just doubled down on their stupid ass building.
I was about to say, 76, 4,
yeah, and 76. Yeah.
I consider those two to be what Bethesda learned from New Vegas.
It's like, hey guys, you want choices that matter? You want deep gameplay? Fuck that. Fuck that. You can build houses.
Sorry, a song got stuck in my head whenever I think of Bethesda.
What, funk that?
It just works.
It just works. And sometimes it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just doesn't work. Yeah, I mean, I like RPGs that have consequences. It's one of the reasons why I don't like Pokemon anymore, because nothing you do really matters to the overall game. Like, there's no alternate. It's like, well, I mean, can I do something different? Can I play as a different character?
Say, for me, I consider it a very light RPG, as in you get a few choices, but mostly you're just pummeling.
I don't even consider it an RPG, because the choices you make don't have any real bearing on the overall game. Like, and it's the same. Like, yeah, it's got a party, but you don't actually fight with your party. It has turn-based combat, but it's turn-based light. You can't really equip your Pokemon with weapons or items. I mean, yeah, you can give them something to hold, but that doesn't really. I mean, yeah, he was holding a berry, and when he took so much damage, the berry healed him for 10 HP. Woo! Big fucking deal. I mean, yeah, you can make choices, but the choice is like, okay, the only choice that really matters in Pokemon is which starter you choose, and that just determines how easy the beginning of the game is, the first 4 gyms or the first 4 locations you go to. And here's the thing: you can catch Pokemon that basically
cover your weaknesses,
change that difficulty. So even then, it doesn't fucking matter. Nothing you do in a Pokemon game matters until you get to the real meat of a Pokemon game, which is the PvP. But here's the problem.
That's usually late game.
Yeah, that's extremely late game, and the skills and abilities you learn, like most of the strategies you learn in single player, are not going to help you in PvP.
Yeah, I was about to say, they barely even help you in their competitive PvP, which is double.
Yeah, so, just Pokemon I can't even call an RPG. I can't. I cannot. Just because you have characteristics of an RPG doesn't make you an RPG.
Yeah, I call it RPG. I call it RPG light at the best of conditions, and that's slightly being a little generous.
Yeah, like an atom of RPG-ness. Whatever. Anyway,
yeah.
So our next little bit of news: Panzer Dragoon, the remake is coming to PC. So for those of you who are like me and didn't buy this shit on the Switch, you'll probably get it on Steam. I was gonna get it on the Switch, but it's like there were so many other games coming out at the time, I just forgot. I was like, okay.
At least I could roll that one. So if anything, I can already hear the modders drooling at what they could do with that game. Oh God.
I mean, I'm one of those people who thinks Panzer Dragoon's kind of overrated. Got all quiet.
I consider it kind of like a movie.
I mean, it's an on a rail shooter. I mean, it's basically
it's like Star Fox,
yeah,
but with dragons.
Panzer Dragoon is basically Sega's answer to Star Fox. That's all it really is. It's Sega's answer to Star Fox 64. The difference is that instead of you flying a badass ripoff of an X-wing, you're flying a fucking ugly ass dragon. And yes, the Panzer Dragoon dragon is ugly as shit. That is not a cool looking dragon.
I was about to say, you don't even get to pick your dragon? Come on!
Well, I mean, apparently in the Panzer Dragoon RPG, as you play through the game and level up, you can apply certain skills to your dragon which change how it looks. But in the original game, you didn't really do that. You were on that dragon blowing shit the fuck up with the dragon, and that was it.
That kind of blows then.
I mean, like, here's the thing. Like most Sega, like most Sega,
Competition games.
I was gonna say, like most Sega, like most Sega games that people have good memory about. I mean, let's keep it real. Panzer Dragoon is overrated. Just like Shenmue is overrated. Just like Sonic Adventure is overrated. These are not good games, okay? You think they're good because you played them when you were a kid and maybe it was like the right time and the right place and shit came together. But they aren't good in the classical sense of the word. Like Shenmue. Shenmue is not a good game. You think it's good, but it isn't.
Gotcha.
And I stand by that statement. People always think Shenmue is a great game, but really, it isn't. Shenmue, like everything that Shenmue was trying to do, there are games that came out after Shenmue that did it better, right? And I'll say this: I don't think there still has been a truly great 3D Sonic game. Okay, like there is no Sonic game.
I was going to say the last Sonic game that was in 3D that was even decently good was probably Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Adventure the Lost Unleashed.
I would say Lost World. But then again, that was ripping off Super Mario Galaxy. So, if you can't innovate, rip off a really good game. Like Sonic the Hedgehog has not had his Mario 64 3D game yet. It has not happened. Sonic Adventure,
and
Sonic
I consider
Adventure 2,
I consider it because of its speed.
Sonic Heroes. It's not even the speed factor. It's just not a good game. I mean, a lot of the same level design over and over and over again. I don't know. That's my opinion. Kenoshi, you have any thoughts before we move on to the next topic?
Nah.
Okay. So our next topic is let's see here. We covered the boys. Oh yes, GameStop. GameStop is set to close 300 more stores this year.
Why am I not surprised? You guys trying to do a vampire on my gaming life, and you expect me to actually be happy about it?
I don't think GameStop gonna make it. I don't think GameStop's gonna be here next year. I don't think.
At the rate they're going,
yeah.
I almost can't wait to see how thin they get.
Because the thing is, they were supposed to close 150 stores this year, but because of the pandemic and people not buying shit, it was doubled. So I mean, it was
not to mention their stupidity.
It was increased by 200%. So it went from 150 to 450 stores are closing. So
yeah, and I was saying that that their stupidity also added into that because, well, you try to claim that gaming is an essential resource and should be remain open.
Well,
and you guys aren't.
Technically speaking, video games were keeping people inside the house, so they weren't going out spreading the shit around. So you could argue that, but the thing is, that wasn't okay. The reason they made that argument isn't because gaming was keeping a lot of people inside the house, so they weren't out spreading COVID or exposing themselves or others to COVID. It was because they were hemorrhaging money like someone who's bleeding out of their asshole, and that's basically what happened. Like, GameStop is fucked. I mean, GameStop is well and truly and royally fucked. I mean, I would say I feel sorry for GameStop, but considering all the times that they tried to sell me shit I didn't want, I'll be right back.
Oh yeah,
I gotta go take care of something real quick.
I'll finish this one for you. After all the times that GameStop ripped you off of your money, they tried to overcharge. They tried to push the magazine into your bag. They tried to get you on a credit card, no less. After they even tried to um, get you into some petty offer to try to quote unquote lower your discount, which I can only wonder how how they even consider a discount at this rate. They're finally getting their well-deserved break for life by getting shut down. Oh boy. GameStop, if you didn't try to reach into your customers' wallets and try to be the thief, you probably would have at least lasted longer than some of the other companies that were around during this time, even comic books. But no, you picked the rogue class and tried to pickpocket the king in front of a live audience. You can imagine how well that will go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And with everybody downloading their games now, and plus you can get, decent deals other places when it comes to games like Amazon or eBay or, you don't
Yeah.
have to go to GameStop for all your games.
Yeah, though, if you're into physical games, online is probably one of the things that you would do if you know where to find a deal, which is kind of a mixed bag for me. Trying to look depends on where I look around. But if I want to go to a real life store to do it, there's few options. At least where I live. How fun! But at least if anything, GameStop's one of the last places I look because, well, it's clear how they play around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that being said, I guess we need to I guess we have a little bit
I think we're
more.
ready for our next change.
Yeah, our next thing is well, I guess we can get to nominating our asshole of the week, and then we can do unpopular opinions. And if there's any time left, I guess one of you guys can bring up a free topic if you want, and then we can wrap things up. So with that being said, asshole of the week. Now the nominations are Yves Guillemot from Ubisoft. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Epic from the Epic v Apple debacle. Apple from the Apple v Epic debacle. EA or GameStop.
For me, I'd have to go to Ubisoft just for the fact that I saw the trailer for their Prince of Persia remake and it doesn't look particularly great.
Well, I mean, it
It looks
depends on.
like
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know. It just looks off.
I mean, it depends on how much they're charging. Like I recently went to the reviews for Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning, and people were like getting mad about it and like, oh, this is so expensive. I'm like, yeah, but I mean, it's like if you already have the game, it's a $15 purchase. Like
Oh.
$15 is not a lot of money. And even if you don't have the game, $30 for a remake that runs pretty well in next gen hardware and that type of shit. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, if Ubisoft releases this game and they're charging $60 for it, or 50, okay, there's a problem. But if they're charging like a small amount, then I'm gonna be like, okay, whatever.
It's like it's an annoyance fee.
I mean, I'm not gonna get it
Hopefully.
anyway. I don't really like.
Prince of Persia.
Well,
You
I
know,
don't.
Sands of Time series trilogy.
I don't like the new Prince of Persia all that much, but that's just me.
Mm.
Not a huge fan of the new Prince of Persia, but you know, to each his own.
Of course.
You know, to each his own. Everyone has their um, thing. Like I know a lot of people like Sands of Time. I don't. The first time I played Sands of Time, I played the Game Boy Advance version of it. If you get what I'm saying, which is actually not that bad of a game. It's just a 2D platformer. It's pretty good. So you know, I can't really, you know. You know, but I get what you're saying. The fact, like, basically, I would agree that Yves Guillemot is an asshole, but not because of, and Ubisoft are assholes, but because they basically built their company off of these terrible people, and now they're like, well, we're sorry. It's like, wow, this apology would have been so much better had you done it even 10 years ago and fired the people who were in positions where they were allowed to do this. Because now the people who are victimized, most of those people are out of the business. You know, I mean, I remember reading this article where there were these really great game ideas that never came to fruition because these assholes who were doing this shit stopped these games from moving forward. And you know. Jewel, do you have a nominee for asshole of the week?
If anything, I'd go with EA.
Okay.
I mean, seriously, they've been it's about time that they get caught. I mean, they've been doing so much BS and nobody calls it out, and it's finally fun to see them get sunk for their actions. So I wish it could happen more.
Okay.
What about you, Red?
I'm going with Ubisoft because here's the thing: they're assholes, and we know they're assholes. So when they do asshole shit, I'm not surprised by it.
True, but if anything, I thought at least they deserve a nomination because they're finally getting called out on it, and they're trying to fight back, and
No.
watching them try to do that is hilarious.
Well, they got called out and then they stopped doing it, which is vastly different from what they used to do back in the day. So even there, I mean, you know, they're already starting to act a little bit different than they used to. Now, if you look at someone like Ubisoft had been doing this for 15. I mean, at least we know for 15 years. These people who basically had been raping people, drugging people, doing a ultra, like more than what you would call a hostile work environment. They've been doing this shit for 15 years. And now they're all like, and the only reason they're saying anything about the shit now is that they got caught. Okay? That's it. They just got caught. It's not that they actually give a shit about the people who were victimized. They just got caught. You know? And that is terrible. You know, it's terrible that people had to go through this shit. So, I mean, I'm giving it to. I'm nominating Ubisoft. So between the three of us, Ubisoft has it because it's.
Yeah, if anything, I could at least say that I could agree with you guys on where you're standing because seriously, compared to what Ubisoft's been doing, EA is looking like a saint.
Yeah, I mean EA is bad. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't hear about anyone getting drugged and raped at EA. Like even the worst, like EA is just greedy. Ubisoft did some evil sociopathic, like people at Ubisoft were doing some evil sociopathic sexual violence shit. Like that thing where Sergei Haskowitz said about a female VP that she's bothering my mind and someone needs to rape her up the ass until her mind opens up and they need to pass her around. I was like, that is some rapey, you hate women shit to say. Like you cannot say that you like women and say some shit like that. Because clearly you don't. Because no one would say that about another human being that likes that human being. And the fact that this person not only here's the problem at Ubisoft. This person who said some shit like that was their head creative director. So they literally promoted people like this into positions of power. They had an HR department that buried reports that these people were doing shit like that. I mean, the entire system was fucked up. And I mean, that's some, like EA, it's like, okay, we're going to be greedy and take advantage of people's wallets. Okay, like whether or not you spend money on EA's shit, it's just your wallet that's affected. But like Ubisoft, like they were drugging people were getting drugged, some sexual harassment was going on. I mean, it's some real fucked up shit. And EA is bad, but I mean, I haven't heard any shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. So yes, Ubisoft is the asshole of the week. Next, we have unpopular opinions. Anyone want to go with theirs first?
I'm probably gonna regret myself, but here goes.
All
right. As much as I can see the faults of the 3D All Stars collection,
mm-hmm.
I consider it a really good value for even though it's a limited time. Like seriously, the big three first 3D game sellers for each system, which would be the 64, the GameCube, and the Wii. That's pretty much a great package in itself. I wish there was a little more to it, and I have to be actually laughing at people asking for more up-resing and new generation looks for some of the games. But if anything, I consider a good plus, even if it is a good bit flawed.
Okay. Yeah. Kadoshi?
I don't really have an unpopular opinion.
All right.
The years got lucky tonight.
I have an unpopular opinion. My unpopular opinion is this. Here's my I have two unpopular opinions. First, it's an unpopular opinion about the new Mario 3D All Stars, and it's not about the All Stars itself. It's about this bullshit about it's a limited time shit. Okay, first of all, all you people who are complaining about it's a limited time, let me let you in on a little secret. You can buy the shit digitally. So what the fuck are you complaining about? If you just want to play the game.
Well,
if you're one of those people who's like, I need to have this shit physically, then, I mean, I have nothing to say to you. but, I mean, if you just want to have the game to play, you can buy it digitally. Like, there's limitless amounts of digital times you can buy this.
That even the digital copy is limited. Even that's kind of good.
Yeah, it's going to be limitedly available, but there isn't a limit to how many you can buy. Is what I'm saying. Like, it's only going to be available to. And here's the thing: the only reason the shit is limited is so that they can sell. They can break it up into individual parts and sell the individual games at a higher price, probably $30 or $40 a pop.
Depending on the game.
depending on the game. So, I mean, I don't know why people are acting like little whiny little bitches about the shit. Look, you know how Nintendo is. We all know how Nintendo is about shit like this. So don't act
I was about
surprised
to
when they
say,
do that shit.
when it's a celebration,
No, it's
they'll
not
give
even
out.
celebration shit. Nintendo stopped actually having deals on their games when the Wii. When the Wii U launched and the 3DS. Because remember back in the day during the GameCube era and the N64 era and the SNES era, they would have Nintendo's greatest hits or Nintendo Selects, where after a game sold a certain amount, the price would get lowered and you could get it for a deal. Nintendo don't do that shit anymore. Okay, they don't. So, I mean, basically, the only reason they're doing the shit they're doing now is so that they can sit there and charge an arm and a leg for the shit later on. Okay? So, like, people complain, it's a limited. Look, listen, if you really have to have the game and the physical editions are running out, just download the shit.
Yeah,
Just
that's
fucking
the thing.
download the shit. God damn it. It's not a problem. Okay?
But I want it now. I want my physical copy now.
Yeah, and so which leads to my second unpopular opinion. Look, everyone, even Nintendo, wants to go digital. The reason they want to go digital is because Nintendo doesn't have to spend money to have a cartridge or physical media made. They don't have to spend money on that shit, and they get all of the money. So if you pay $60, if you spend $60 on a
digital copy, then it's all to Nintendo.
That's all to Nintendo or whoever the developer is, the publisher is. That's pure profit. That's pure gross and pure profit, if you will.
Yeah, they don't have to also pay like a brick and mortar store to have
Exactly. That's pure money going to them. This is the way they all want to go. And they also want to take their foot and shove it up GameStop's ass for selling their games used, okay? So it's a twofold win for them, okay? Lots of money and kicking GameStop up the ass. This is the way gaming is going. I'm tired of hearing these people complain about, I want this. Look, listen, this is the way it's going. I don't want it. Look, listen, I'm with you. I wish physical media wasn't being diminished, but that's the way it is. And stop trying to stand in front of this fucking train, because if you do, you're gonna get run the fuck over. And then act surprised.
Better be ran over and lose anything else.
Oh man, I'm in pieces. It's on you. I had nothing to do with it. But I mean, look, listen, okay. I am with you guys. I don't want it to be like that. I would love for there to be I would love for both things to exist at the same time. And to be fair, that's where we're going to be for the next for the next console gen coming up. Maybe Nintendo will continue to do a physical as well, because you have a lot of gamers who are like that. But as far as the other gamers, like this is the way Sony wants to go. This is the way Microsoft wants to go. This is the way
they already have. Yeah, they came out with they have an all digital console.
Yeah, and PC's been like this for years, because most PCs that you get now don't even come with a fucking CD drive.
Yeah, my computer doesn't have it. Well, actually, yeah, my computer does have a CD drive, but my laptop doesn't have a CD drive.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I'm just saying, this is the way shit's going. Now, I understand how people feel about it. They don't like it. They want things to be different. I understand it. I get it. Listen. To quote Bill Clinton, I feel your pain. I really do feel your pain. I just want to let you know, I feel your pain. I do feel your pain. I wish things were different, but unfortunately, this is where shit is going. And I'm just tired of hearing people complain about they want physical, because it's not going in that direction. Okay.
Yeah, physical's going. Physical's going away.
That's where it's going. Okay. Like, you want to know when physical became more of like not gonna be a thing? when Netflix came in and made the argument about physical media a moot point. Okay, who gives a shit about Blu-ray and HD when you can stream the shit? And yeah, it might not be HD quality, but guess the fuck what? You can play whatever the fuck you can watch. Literally, with the power of streaming, for paying $10 a month, I have access.
Funny line that you say that, Red. Especially considering what's going on right now.
Well, the thing is, it's you have like for most people, when it comes to Netflix, it's good enough. The picture quality is good enough.
Yeah, but I mean, not just that, but I mean, okay, listen, okay, like right now, okay, I'm gonna use XCloud. I'm gonna use XCloud as an example, okay? I mean, Xbox Game Pass, okay? Xbox Game Pass has gone up in price from $5 to $10, okay? Right? And you get access to hundreds of games from Xbox themselves. Plus, they added EA All Access to it, so you get access to like 800 games for $10 a month. So you know, if you get that for a year, that's $120. For the price of two $60 full price games, you get access to 800 games. Which is the better buy?
Not quite. If it means that you only get that you could keep that going for so long, meaning that they keep on getting money for that kind of for actually, well, getting you on a subscription base.
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm just simply saying, to the average consumer, you tell them you can pay $10 a month over over a year, or just pay $120 over, you know, for the year, and you get access to 800 plus games, or you can just pay that same amount and get two AAA games that may or may not be good. Because let's be honest, a lot of AAA games are shit. Okay, it's a no fucking brainer. Okay, and that's how it is with gaming. Think about with movies. Yeah, I have a huge collection of physical movies, Blu-ray, DVD, VHS. But you know what? I mean, most of the shit I'm watching these days, I'm just streaming to my house through the power of the internet. So physical media is going away. I know some people don't like that. I understand why people don't like it, but that's where it's going. So gird your loins and get prepared. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not gonna stop it. I mean, it's gonna cut down on waste. For one thing, I know that's a big thing in various tech and various aspects of tech, is they want to cut down on waste. So
yeah, that's bullshit though. They just don't want to spend money on the discs. That's all that shit is.
Yeah, I can agree. I can agree to a certain extent with that, but that's how they're gonna. That's one of the ways they're gonna try to sell it, or probably are selling it.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to print all these CDs. Okay, that's cool. You know, I mean, even though CDs are, I mean, I'm pretty sure they've created a recyclable CD by this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I've been seeing some of those being around. So that's for CDs that are basically used for people that write on CDs.
I mean, just period. Like, I'm pretty sure they've come up with a recyclable Blu-ray CD. Pretty sure they've done it by now. Possibly. I don't have any evidence to support that claim.
Of course.
But I mean, yeah. That's my unpopular opinion. It's coming. You know, that's just the way it is. It's the wave of the future. You know, unfortunately, I know some people are getting upset by that. Like basically, at this point, people fighting digital content is the equivalent of people fighting the highway coming through their town, coming near their town, or fighting, you know, mainline water versus well water. It's like it's coming. There's nothing you can do at this point. You know, you will be in the very, very small minority. And I guess if that makes you happy, good for you. But there's some really good shit out there that's only that's digital. Like I went on Twitter today and some guy was like, a friend of the channel, Dr. Feelgood. He was like, well, I waited to get this game until it came out physically. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I bought the game when the shit came out on PC for like $5.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why you're bragging about waiting 6 months to play a game when you could have been playing it 6 months ago. Like, I don't. Like, what's the point? That literally is nothing to brag about. That's like someone saying, I waited till I was 40 to have sex. Really? You're bragging about that. Why are you bragging about that? I wouldn't tell anyone that. I would keep that to myself.
Why would anybody care anyway?
Yeah, people like, I held on. Look, I'm going to tell you something. If you're a woman and you said some shit like that to me, I would be like, you're probably no good in bed. Because you don't have any experience. If this was an RPG, you'd be level 1. Why the fuck would I take you? Why would I go out? I mean, everyone knows that if you play an RPG, you don't bring a level 1 character out to a level 20 fight. You just don't. It's not worth it.
Not unless you protect that little guy with your life, and I don't think that many characters are going to do that.
Yeah, I ain't doing it. But anyway, that was my argument. I know some people will disagree. That's my unpopular opinion. I have 2 of them. Like I said, I know some people will get angry, but I don't really care about it because at this point, it's not worth the argument. But that's my opinion. That's my onion, as some people would say. And we have just enough time for a free topic. Anyone have anything they want to bring up?
Basically, just wondering. Anything that you guys are hoping for to see in October? Just curious.
Gaming or movies or what?
At this point, I'm thinking movies, because I could see a drought for me in October.
I mean, it is kind of dry in October, but I mean, I got shit to play, so movies. I mean, there's TV shit coming back, so I'm kind of happy about that. But
yeah, it's just that if anything, I was thinking that is there any movies that are coming out in October to enjoy?
Well, here, let me look it up. Let me look up list of October movie releases. Probably nothing. Because even if something did come out, I'm not going to a theater to watch a movie.
Yeah, if anything, I already know that that's a horror show when it comes to movie theaters already.
Yeah, here's what you got. Here's what you got in 2020. Okay, in October, you got Hubie Halloween, which is a Netflix movie. You got Batman: Death in the Family. That's probably streaming. David Byrne's American Utopia, Astro Kid, Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo, American Pie presents Girls Rules, So now we get to see a girl
God.
fuck a pie. That's gonna be interesting. Death on the Nile. Oh, Death on the Nile, but it's gonna be in theaters. But I'm not watching that shit in a movie theater. I liked the first Oriental Express. Death on the Nile is the second film based on Kenneth Branagh's version of Hercule Poirot, which is an Agatha Christie detective, Belgian detective named Hercule Poirot. So then we have Over the Moon. That's October 23rd. We have Honest Thief, starring Liam Neeson. So it's probably going to be some Taken shit, basically, since Liam Neeson just keeps on pulling out Taken shit. But he's like, at this point, he's too goddamn old to be playing that role. Alone, Follow Me, The Friend of Dispatch, Beyond Barricades, The Story of the Anti-Flag, Daddy's Girl, The Prom, Charles. Wait, is this a Chucky movie? Hey, I'll give you guys a link to this shit. Tell me, does this look like a child's play, some child's play shit?
Ooh boy.
Yeah. Just click on
This is gonna be fun.
It looks like some child's play shit. I mean, with that doll.
It is.
Yeah, with that doll. I don't know if this is really Chucky, but it looks like Chucky. I mean, that shit.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's Chucky, but that's awfully peeping close, and that's
looks like they're channeling Chucky there.
Me.
What the fuck is Chucky? I didn't know they were doing a Chucky movie. Or at least an homage to Chucky. It comes out October 1st, so, you know. Connected, The Mothman Legacy, Two Hearts, Mank. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Oh, it's a biopic about the life of the Citizen Kane screenwriter Herman Mankiewicz. So, probably shitty. Country at Heart, Ouija, The Doorman, Come Follow Me. So it's one of those Christian Jesus movies where they have a white person playing Jesus. I think that's hilarious. They always have white people playing Jesus. It's like, have you been to the Middle East? Have you been to Palestine, Israel? Like, native people are dark-skinned in that area. Wolf Walkers, Little Fish, Nocturne, Seized, Bloomhouse, Black Box, Tremors, Shrieker Island. Oh man, another Tremors movie, but it's going to be direct-to-video, so.
Oh boy.
I mean, there's some shit coming out. Like, clearly Hollywood has ran out of shit.
Oh, Hollywood's on fire right now, especially if you see the Oscars. But I'll say that for after this podcast.
Yeah.
That if D&D doesn't show up.
It's clear to me that Hollywood has ran out of shit. They've ran out of shit to show. They've ran out of shit to watch. They got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, October's gonna be a dry ass month, for lack of a better term. It's gonna be dry. It's gonna be very dry. So,
Yeah.
there you go, folks. October is gonna be a dry ass month.
I think worse. I think I can say that we're set.
Unless, I mean, you can always watch Come Follow Me and watch White Jesus. White Jesus.
Yeah.
Let's see, Trinell83 has a comment. Last time Nintendo did a greatest hits was the 3DS, I believe. No, I don't think they did greatest hits on the 3DS. I know they did greatest hits on the DS and the Wii. I think they stopped during the 3DS time because the Wii U was losing so much money. They were like, well, shit, we gotta make money. Look, I'm not gonna bemoan them making money. I'm just saying that, like, they're like, if there's a limited time, you can get Mario 3D All Stars. Bullshit. we know you guys are gonna break these games up and put them on your shitty virtual console. Actually, no, they don't have a virtual console anymore. They're eShop. There it is, the eShop. That's all they're gonna do, and they're gonna charge probably $30 a pop. So you could have got them for $60, and now you got to pay $30 a pop. So $90. We win either way, you dumbasses. At least that's how I feel. I could be wrong though. Probably not, but I could be. So those are my opinions. Anything else you guys want to bring up before we wrap things up?
I'm set.
What?
I'm set.
Okay, Kenoshi, anything you want to bring up before we wrap things up?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, this is Mr. Red Fox.
The BS Busters here. And thank you for watching the BS Busters. You could get us in contact by Twitter, by email, by Discord.
Yes, and the links are on the screen. If you would like to be a part of my Discord, there's a link in the description under this video, so you can just click on that and you can be a part of the Discord. On the Discord, we talk about a lot of eclectic topics, but most of them are really good. Stay tuned to next week's BS Busters, where actually Wednesday's going to be special because it's going to be only a third of it. It's probably going to be about video games. The other 2/3 are going to be about more pop culture type stuff, but it should still be fun. So with that being said, that's the end of this podcast. Rate, comment, share, subscribe, and
Hype responsibly. Don't forget to